Let's talk about our file that we've downloaded here, our Day 2 assignment. And we'll talk about our top row here. See, all walls are 1 foot thick and 10 feet high. So I'm going to left click on the wall tool. Let's scroll over here to the right. We can see that we're at 10 feet high. And then we're going to come back. And you can see we don't have any control over the thickness of the wall. And that's because we're in this mode right here. If I return back to this mode, which your guys' computers are already set to by default, probably, then we have our choice of thickness over here. So I'm going to make this a 1 in here, and ArchiCAD will default to 1 feet. If you just type in 2, say, ArchiCAD will think that you're talking about 2 feet, not 2 inches. So I've just placed a 1 in there. I've placed a 10 over here next to the T, the top of the wall. The bottom of the wall is set to be 0 feet. And I'm just going to kind of zoom in, use my center scroll wheel, and I could kind of pan by holding down the center scroll wheel to kind of position my page here so I'm ready to copy this, or try to attempt to make this here. And this is going to be really easy because I've just got, if I left click and hold down, we're in this single segment of wall. So all I have to do is left click and draw straight up. And notice off to the right of my wall there, I've got some numbers telling me how far I've gone and what angle. It's telling me I'm at an angle of 90 degrees, a distance of 10 feet something or other. And I can zoom in even while I'm drawing. I can see I need to go 10 feet in order to be just like this wall up here. So the easiest way to do this is just get my mouse going in the right direction and just type in 10 and hit enter or return on the keyboard. And that's going to make a wall that's 10 feet long. If I'd like to check it, I can just go over here to our measuring tool, left click once, and then go up here, and I don't even have to click. I can just sort of hover right over the end there, and I can see it's 10 feet. I can also hover over the end point here, and I can see it's 1 foot thick. Now moving on to this guy right here, you can see we've got a distance of 8 feet up, 8 feet over, and another 8 feet up. Now it's important to realize that we're measuring on this side of the wall. If I were to measure on this side of the wall, we're going to get something different. I'm going to go to left click on the measuring tool, and just to show you, we're going down, we can see that this distance here is only 7 feet because we're not including the thickness of the wall. Over here we actually have 8 feet, so this part's right. But you can see probably from here up to here, and let's just do that. From here down to here is 9 feet. So it's important to realize we're talking about this edge of the wall over here. So if I were to set my wall mode here on our chained wall mode and start to draw, you can see what's kind of going on here. I'm drawing, if I kind of zoom in, from the right hand side. And that's not going to give me the result I want because we're talking about this edge over here, not this edge. So how do we change the edge we're drawing from? We just go up here, and you can see here's the one we're currently on, and I'm just going to change it to the other one here. Now you can see I'm drawing from that outside edge there. So I can just type in 8, get my mouse going in this direction, type in 8, enter, and then type in 8, enter again, and I could just hit enter again to complete that wall. And I can just do a quick measure right here and say, yes, that's 8. Yes, that's 8. I know that one's 8 up there. So moving on to this guy over here, we're just going to change the wall geometry, left click, hold down, and we're going to get into this mode right here. And by the way, if you don't see this box over here, this dimension 1, dimension 2 box coming up under screen, chances are this thing right up here, the tracker palette, has been turned off for some reason. Notice if I click on it, I don't get any of that information anymore. So I want the tracker palette to be on. And so if I zoom in, I can see it's 12 feet in this direction and 12 feet in this direction. And you can see dimension 1 and dimension 2. Dimension 1 is going from left to right, dimension 2 is going up and down. In this case, they're both 12 feet, so all I need to do is type in 12. I'm just hitting 12 on the keyboard, hit the tab key on the keyboard, and then type in 12 again and enter. And I'm going to have a rectangle. Oh, you can see something I did wrong there is the following. Let me undo that. You can see I'm drawing from the inside of the rectangle. So my rectangle ended up with 12 feet on the inside and 12 feet and left to right, 12 feet up down. My mistake. How do I fix that? Again, I'm going to change the wall construction method here, and now I'm drawing on the outside. And I should be able to type in 12, tab 12, and now you can see those two rectangles are the same. So, and by the way, if you start to draw something accidentally, say I'm over here and I don't want to draw this and then have to erase it, you can just hit escape. And again, so I'm going to pan, hold down the center scroll wheel, move over a little, kind of zoom in. Let's see here, and now we have a rotated rectangle that is a 10 by 12 this way, and it's rotated at 45 degrees. So we do have a tool for that in ArchiCAD. And we're in the wall tool, left click and hold down, and now we're going to go all the way to this last option here, rotated rectangle. And I'm just going to click, and you can see the first thing we're doing is defining the angle. And so we could either be drawing this part here or this part up here. In this case, I'm going to be drawing the upper part. And I can see it's 10 feet. So what I could do is just type in 10 for our distance there, hit tab. It's already set to 45. You could type in 45 if you wanted to, and hit return or enter on the keyboard. And that starts us going here. And so now what we need to do is define the distance we're rolling out this way, and you can see it's 12 feet. So again, I'm just going to get going in the right direction here. Just type in 12, hit enter on the keyboard, and that's how I've created that guy right there. This one here, we can see we have a radius of 8 feet, and we're talking about the outside of this, our round wall there. And so here's how we do this. We go into this mode right here, and I'm just going to left click. Now we're in this mode, and we're in the first option here if you left click and hold down. And I'm just going to click and start to move out. And you can see I'm drawing from the outside of the wall there, and that's what we want. If you see that it's drawing from the inside, chances are that again we're flipped over here with regards to our reference here. So I'm going to be in this one right here, and all I have to do is type in 8, hit enter, and now we're not done yet. You see if I start moving my mouse, you can see the wall we're able to sweep out a certain angle of the wall because we may not want an entirely circular wall. We just may only want a certain portion of that circular wall. So if you want the whole wall, all you have to do is sort of hover over your starting point here, and then ArchiCAD understands, oh, you want to see the whole wall, left click, and we're done. So that's our top row here on how we complete all these shapes here, if you will.